everyone, nice to meet you again with the Disney 3D Art YouTube channel. In today's video has a new comment by Bow Queen, request, Judy Hopps Zootopia, 2016. Okay, let's get started. The character Judy Hopps in the movie Zootopia. Everyone. Officer Judy Hopps is the protagonist of Disney's 2016 animated feature film Zootopia. The first rabbit officer of the Zootopia Police Department. Judy is determined to make the world a better place while breaking misconceptions about other species. Teaming up with a fox named Nick Wilde, she sets off on her first case but discovers a sinister conspiracy is at play. For a majority of the film's production, Judy was not the protagonist of the story. Instead, the film was centered around Nick, while Judy essentially served as his sidekick. She was an already established member of the Zootopia Police Department, initially being tasked with apprehending the fugitive Wilde. As the story progressed, the two would have come to form a relationship. And the goal was then centered around assisting Wilde in clearing his name after being framed for a crime he did not commit. She was also going to be a lieutenant and the police force's best cop. But her motivations remained the same throughout most versions of the story. In even earlier iterations of the story, Judy's character was portrayed as a somewhat aggressive figure. A seasoned officer, Judy's was much more of a cynic, being well experienced and no-nonsense. Furthermore, she was more of an outcast in earlier drafts. Bunnies were typically an impersonal race that worked as phone operators. The number of rabbits was also emphasized, dramatically so, to further Judy's loss of identity amongst her own crowd. This would have been acknowledged, as her own father was unable to distinctly identify her. A little over a year before the film's set release date, a screening was held for the filmmakers of Pixar Animation Studios. Andrew Stanton, one of the studio's lead directors, suggested that the leads of the story trade places in significance. This was a response to the screening's negative reactions. The story was deemed too dark and unpleasant, the world and characters too unlikable. Byron Howard and the rest of the production team crucially revamped the story so that it was Judy in whom the audience would follow. To Nick, the city was broken from the beginning. And following the story through the eyes of a cynic would degrade both the message and the city itself. With Judy being optimistic and starry-eyed, the story and themes made much more sense. With Hopps' struggle to insert herself within the harsh world of reality serving as an important and emotional story. The drastic change was met with both reservations and acclaim. Though a hefty amount of development had to be forcibly removed, the filmmakers felt a much stronger connection towards Hopps and her journey. Judy is fiercely optimistic and independent. Since childhood, she has harbored a dream to become a police officer, solely for the opportunity to help those in need and make the world a better place. She cares deeply for the well-being of others. This includes her family, friends, Mrs. Otterton's despair over the disappearance of her husband, and even Nick. During the chase in Little Rodensa, Judy intercepted every chance of danger for the small residents even when capturing the thieving Duke Weaselton was on the line. She has a big heart. And although she tends to keep her emotions under control, and even under wraps, a majority of the time, she is capable of expressing her true feelings in a genuine, powerful light. This is mostly seen with Nick Wilde, whose feelings and companionship she values highly, motivating her to prevent her own ambitions from harming others. Due to being a rabbit, a species unassociated with such a high-stakes occupation, Judy faced continuous doubt and underestimation from those around her, from her parents to local bullies. Nevertheless, she used her opposers to increase her determination and became progressively more insistent on reaching her goals than ever before with each naysayer. She believed in the importance of always trying and making an effort to reach your goals, no matter what. Her goal was to eventually become a resident and local officer of Zootopia, a city where predator and prey supposedly live together in peace and harmony, unlike the burrows, believing she will be quickly accepted amongst her peers and neighbors despite her species. She was very idealistic in this sense, having this set dream and not necessarily taking potentially negative outcomes into consideration which, unfortunately, made her too idealistic for her own good in this regard, and she found out herself unprepared to face the negative aspects that lie within the city upon her first residential day, leaving her to easily fall victim to bigotry and manipulation. Her optimism and determination to be a police officer tend to lead her to be, at times, overzealous and impulsive. As a parking enforcement officer, she gave 201 tickets to anyone whose cars had been in a parking meter too long, including herself before noon just to show up Chief Bogo's doubts about her. Arrested Duke Weaselton for stealing, even though parking enforcement officers cannot arrest someone, which was disclosed from a furious Bogo. and had nearly gotten herself killed on multiple occasions during her first case. Furthermore, though she respects the law, the manner in which Judy carried out her first case is rather controversial, in which she was not given permission or authority to blackmail others into complying with her demands and used her alliance with a notorious crime boss, a partnership controversial on its own, for interrogation purposes. Granted, these acts were mostly committed out of desperation, as her initial lack of respect from the police force, limited timeframe to solve the case, and her lack of resources due to not yet being in the city's computer system, forced her to take extreme measures to complete her mission. This also extends to tokenism, as Chief Bogo gave her a job as a parking attendant due to wanting to maintain the Zootopia Police Academy's positive reputation. Despite the odds and hardships, Judy remains optimistic and determined, adapting herself to the environment and those around her to build up both the way she presents herself and pursue her goals. She is clever and resourceful, which proves to be her greatest asset. She tarnishes the stereotype of a dumb bunny being intelligent enough to outsmart professional con artist Nick several times. Months of training at the Zootopia Police Academy has also left her tactical, with an impressive amount of physical prowess. During times of chaos, she can quickly take charge of a situation by concocting an efficient plan on the spot, being daring enough to take dangerous chances in order to potentially end the day victorious. More often than not, Judy comes out successful as a result of this. From childhood, Judy believes that predators and prey should be treated equally and made attempts to refrain from acting on bigotry herself. Due to her childhood experiences, however, having been bullied by a fox, Judy has a mild fear of predators, mainly foxes, whether she wanted to admit it or not, so much that it manifests as unintentional prejudice itself. After being pestered into taking a canister of fox repellent during her move from Bunny Burrows to Zootopia by her folks, Judy made the conscious decision to keep the canister by her side for the majority of the film. When she first spotted Nick snooping about the streets, she immediately assumed him to be amid a scam, following and nearly assaulting him with the canister, all because he was a fox. When it appears that Nick was merely an innocent civilian looking to buy ice cream for his son, she felt ashamed of her bigotry, which caused her to overcompensate in hopes of redeeming herself, wanting to be progressive and unbiased, while hypocritically claiming others to be otherwise. This would ultimately make her a pawn in Nick's scams, in the end, while simultaneously teaching her a valuable lesson reflecting both life and herself. The events of Judy's first few months in Zootopia would ultimately blossom into a more mature, practical, diligent, and legitimately progressive individual. Through her experiences, she discovers the downside of having an overly idealistic mentality carry you through life, and that the world is a problematic and messed up place, filled with issues, such as prejudice. Learning that all mammals, be they predator or prey, foxes or rabbits, can be victims of bigotry, even when it is unintentional. No matter the species, all animals have feelings, hopes, and dreams, all of which can be destroyed by preconceived notions and constant underestimation. As such, all should strive to live and accept one another for who they are inside, and not the stereotypes they have been labeled by society. Even with this new outlook on life, Judy would still contend with the method of trying, using her success and experiences as evidence. She encourages those around her to make an effort to see beyond stereotypes, to prove their worth, and to reach their goals despite all that may go against them, with the belief that these positive actions can ultimately lead to a better world. With this being said, Judy becomes the physical representation of Zootopia's meaningful motto, anyone can be anything. A few months ago, I broadcast the character Nick Wilde also in the movie Zootopia. You can watch again if anyone has not seen this video. First is draw the body of rabbit, then wear the short-sleeved teal shirt with lavender on the lower sleeves and lower part of her shirt, a black tank top underneath, and black leggings for Judy Hopps. Next is to draw 2 foots for Judy Hopps. Next is to draw 2 arms and a rabbit tail for Judy Hopps. Finally, draw the head, decorate the face and draw 2 rabbit ears for Judy Hopps. So the character Judy Hopps in the movie Zootopia has been completed. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to support me. At the same time, download the app and visit the website DisneyStore to shopping Souvenir online, as well as Disney Plus to watch some movies and TV shows, used by many people of the world. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for following and goodbye everyone.